Hey there, John Barton, JB Cases. So let's do a quick weekly showcase here. So we're gonna do a weekly showcase for the week of November 11th, Veterans Day week. So first case I got up to start with is a black with blue turquoise stitching here. This is a 4x8. You can see right there, 4x8 with a blue interior. And this one is made for Mr. John Shimoda. Thank you, Mr. Shimoda. We appreciate it. Thank you for the business. Or to the person who ordered it for John, if that's what happened. Thank you for choosing us and allowing us to protect your cues. Okay, here I have a purple and black 2x5, 3x4. So once again, just to let everybody know, 2x5 and 3x4 are the same interior. So we basically, this is our equivalent of a 2x4, except that we give you an extra slot in there so that you can fit either a third butt or a fifth shaft in there. So this is a camo 2x5, 3x4. So pretty cool, like a woodland camo series, and it's got a tan interior. There you go, see that? A little fuzzy fabric on there, let me go to that. All done, bye-bye. So, single strap. And on the camo trip, I have a really cool desert camo right here. Look at this. Special request. We had to go find the material for that. 3x6 with a blue 3x6 interior. There you go. I have to switch that interior out, play with it. A little bit of wrinkled in there. I'll leave that one open so I can easily take it out like this. So you'll notice when I opened it up, I saw that it had some wrinkle in here that I don't like. Okay, so that little bit of wrinkle right there. Now that doesn't affect how the case operates, but I like it to be cleaner. So what I'm going to do, since our interiors are removable like that, so easily removable, I'm just going to put a new one in, and that'll be that. Okay. Here is a black with red piping and white stitching, red handle, kind of cool, looks good, right, like that. So there are so many different ways that you can combine these colors. It's just crazy. So white stitching, white zipper pulls. So red 2x5 interior, 3x4. Okay, then I have a blue and gray. Blue and gray looks pretty cool. See that? Also 2x5, 3x4. With a blue interior. All right, moving on here. I've got an extra tall. Here, I'm going to pan down here so you guys can see this. This is all black. So it's all black, and it's a Dynamite Rugged. But I want to show you how much taller it is than the other case. See that? This is a regular size case. That's the taller one. So that looks like it's about 3 inches taller, 3 inches or so taller. So we do that on request. At the moment, there's no extra charge. And I want to show you something here. Inside we have so a 3x4. And you'll notice that this is fairly deep inside, but the reason it's that way is so that the customer can put regular size cues in there, or he can put his longer cues in there, and both of them, he can access them as needed. And if he wants to, he can put spacers inside to be able to raise up all the cues to whatever height is comfortable for him. So that's a pretty cool case. All right, the next one is burnt orange It's black with burnt orange, 4x8 backpack straps, and burnt orange stitching on here. Very pretty. And this one has a gray 4x8 interior. See that? We'll make the interior all pretty again. Sometimes the interiors will bunch up a little bit from transport. When you got all the weight of all the cases in the box and then it gets jostled around, you know, it'll kind of slide a little bit inside, but once you put them all down, everything's seated, it's perfect. Okay, I have here a really cool all leather, everything's leather, rugged style case. You can see that right there. This is wrapped up on here so it doesn't hurt the leather in transport. This is actually veg tan leather. Some people would know what it means if I call it saddle leather, but this is the whole case with that, with the name tooled into the lid. And otherwise everything is made just like the regular rugged case, but all in leather, so pretty nice. And this is a 4x8, so let's take a look. It's a very elegant case right here. And that is our 4x8 interior. So very nice. And see anything else? I think I showed you guys all those, so I think we're good. All right, well, that's all I got to show you for right now. And just remember, if you don't want to build it yourself, jbcases.com. We'll be happy to do it for you. I want to make sure to mention that we have true protection, true durability, okay, true comfort, and a true lifetime warranty, okay? So there you go. Oh, and true custom, of course, you know. So yeah, our lifetime warranty is I don't think there's a lot of other case makers, or I should say, I don't think there's a lot of other of our competition in our price class that gives you a lifetime warranty for the price that we charge. So I think that we have a really good value on that as well. And the reason that I can give you a lifetime warranty is because honestly, I don't think that you'll need it. But it is a true lifetime warranty with that's pretty liberal, and you know, the only things we don't cover is abuse, misuse, mistreatment, so on. So if you use your case normally and something happens, we have you covered, okay? And I think that once you factor that value in, any other case, you really need to like sharpen your pencil and figure out whether or not you want to take a risk on a case that has no warranty or has a very limited warranty, and especially a limited warranty that makes you jump through hoops and so on, over something like ours that is built to last a lifetime, pretty much does last a lifetime, and if something goes wrong, we've got you covered. And then, by the way, the case is covered, not the person. So we don't make you show us receipts or anything. If you show up with a case and there's something wrong on the case that shouldn't be wrong, something broke that shouldn't have broke with normal use, we got you covered. So how can you beat that, you know? I don't think you can. I've not seen it yet, and if someone comes up with an equivalent warranty, then that'll be great for the customers. So I'd like to see it, but I don't think they'll do it because they don't want to build to our standards. They really don't want to build to our standards. I'm not kidding you. Now, I want to make a distinction before I sign off. Sorry, I know I was going to quit a minute ago, but I want to make a distinction, and this is important. I want to make a distinction between my colleagues and my competition. Okay? My colleagues are people like Rusty Melton, Rex Goulet, Al Kinghorn, you know, Robert Millane, Tony Viesti. These case makers are people who build quality cases. Dan Whitten, or sorry, not Dan Whitten, rest in peace, Dan, sorry about that. You know, Joe and Jill Whitten, for example. These are people who build to a quality level that I find acceptable, that I find exceptional, actually. And I consider them to be my colleagues in this industry. So on some level, we are competitors, yes, because, if you've only got a couple $100 to spend or whatever, say you got $300 to spend or $500 to spend, right? And that's it. You're never going to buy another case. You got to make a decision. Of course, I am competing for your money. I would like that your choice to be our case. However, I'm not mad if you choose, a Rusty Melton, if you choose a Witten, if you choose on-cue cases, Garth Bear, if you choose, who's the other guy here? Al Kinghorn, for example, any of those guys, if you choose them, then I'm not mad because they build a good case. They build. I still think our cases are a little bit better in some areas, but they're also not better in other areas. So, but I think that when it comes to protection, cue protection, I think that I do think that we're better. And the reason I think we're better is because I am constantly pushing and constantly working on these cases to make them better. And I'm lucky enough to have a staff that works for me that can carry out these experiments and carry out my wishes. And a lot of these guys, the smaller guys, my colleagues, they don't have that time, They got lots of orders. They got the way that they build the case for the interior, and that's that. And they're not sweating that. Now, there are a few case makers out there who use our interiors. And I think that's great for them, because they can sell their customers an interior that they can depend on, which, by the way, is warranted, the same as ours, lifetime warranty. And they can focus on the build quality, the custom items that people want. They can focus on all of that and not have to worry about the cue protection and the interior. And then their customers get the choice of 15 different colors or so for the interiors, as well as an array of sizes and even custom sizes that we can make inside of the tubes that we already provide. So those guys are my colleagues, they get it. If they were in my position right now with the same staff that I have, they would be making cases as good or better than what we make right now. So I want to make it clear that when I speak of the competition and I say the competition doesn't do this or the competition builds shitty cases or whatever, I'm not talking about them. All right? Those are my colleagues. Those are people that I am fortunate enough to share the industry with, people that I have taken inspiration from over the years, where I've looked at the stuff they've done and I say to myself, damn, that's really good, and let's do that, or let's try to do better than that, if it's possible to do that. And once in a while, I'll get shot down, even by my own people. I'll get shot. They'll be like, oh, we ain't doing that, right? Let's figure out something else, because that's too labor intensive, for a cheap labor company country like China. We're not doing it. So once in a while that happens, and okay, we'll figure out a different way to achieve the same goal. But those are my colleagues. Those are the people that I'm talking about when I give praise to things done right. The other side is my competition, and in this sense, if you can hear derisiveness in my tone, it is because my competition out there, the ones that are sort of in my price class and trying to be lower than us, they lie, number one. Some of them lie. They just outright lie. Or they say things that are hyperbolic. They say things that are half true sometimes. And more of a problem, though, is they build shitty cases. That's it. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it except and they don't build the cases, number one. They're having shitty cases built. But the bigger part of the problem there is they don't even know that their cases are shitty. So they sell it, they expect to never see you again, or Or if you come back in a year and the case is torn up, you come back in 2 years, it's torn up. They're like, so what? It's cheap. What do you expect? You know? And worse than that, if they do have some sort of warranty, a lot of the times, this is what I've heard, okay? Obviously, I've not tested this out myself. But what I've heard from some of them, you know, or about some of them, is that when you try to go get the warranty, they do everything they can not to honor it. You know, they make you jump through all kinds of hoops. Where's your receipt? Are you sure that's our receipt? Did you buy it on that? Who did you buy it from? You know, and so on. And if you bought the case and then sold it to someone else, well, that second person is straight up screwed, you know, because that warranty now no longer applies. I even heard from a good friend of mine who took one of his sponsored players into, or accompanied his sponsored player into another booth, that a guy that's selling knockoff cases of ours, knockoffs of our cases, and I swear this is exactly the way the story was laid out to me. Two things. A, the guy wanted a certain color combination, and they said they didn't have it. So he settled for something else that they had up on the wall. They go to dinner, and this brand new case that the guy has, put it on the chair, takes it off the chair, and the strap breaks on it. So what happens is then they go back to the booth. This is like 2 hours later or so, something like that, 2 or 3 hours later. They go back to the booth because now the guy wants to get a new case, right? Because of this issue. And he sees that they have now, after telling him they didn't have it, he sees they have the color combination that he wants on the wall. Well, he says to them, he says, well, this just broke. I kid you not. The story that was told to me is they told this guy, send your case in after the show with your receipt and we'll exchange it. And the guy's like, I just bought it. And then they go, well, where's your receipt? And he says, I paid you cash. You didn't ask me for a receipt, but we were here. I talked to you, and they said, well, sorry, we can't do anything about it. You know, no receipt. We don't do exchanges here. So my friend took out his phone and he said, okay, so let's just get this straight. I want to record what you're not going to do for this guy for this problem. And the way it was reported to me, the owner of the company then swoops in and he makes it all right, and he says, oh, no, just trade him out and do this, you know, because obviously they don't want that on video, right? But that's just one story that I've heard. I've heard lots of others. And keep in mind, this is all hearsay. I don't have any ironclad proof of any of this other than the testimonies of the people who said it. But that's not going to happen with us, okay? First of all, if you walk into my booth with a case that you just bought and something broke on it that shouldn't have broke, I am going to be extremely embarrassed by that, you know? Even if we had a bad sewing day, which happens, I'm still going to be embarrassed. And I'm going to do everything I can to make you happy, of course. And of course that includes exchanging the case. Another thing is, if you buy a case from us at our booth and the next day or an hour later or whatever we put up a color combination that you like better, just bring it in and we'll change it out, you know? I mean, unless you've destroyed the case in the time that you've had it in some way. I'm assuming that most of the time the case is going to be in almost brand new condition. So I just exchange it. There's no problem with that. That doesn't matter to me. And that's the kind of service that you get when you buy a JB case that comes along with the lifetime warranty. So we're not out to screw you. You know, we're out to protect your cues. We're out to make sure that you have a nice, comfortable case. And we're out to make sure that the thing is durable and it's going to last a long time and you don't have to worry about it. If you want to buy a new case, you buy a case from us, and then later down the road you want to buy a new case. I want you to buy a new case because you simply just want one. You know, you're tired of the colors or whatever, or you've changed direction in your life and now you don't like browns and you like blues. Whatever. I don't care. I want you to buy a new case, not because you need a new case, but simply because you want a new case. And that old case that you have, you can either keep it as storage or sell it, and the next guy's going to be super happy with it. And that's the climate, that's the atmosphere that I want to create. Every time you come back to our booth, I don't want it to ever be any kind of a sour note where you're like, these guys screwed me, and every time you walk by our booth, you're like looking at us like, you know, oh, those guys suck. And I'm not going to tell you that there's not people out there who don't have that attitude about us. You know, there are a few. You know, there's one thing that I really can't stand is when someone comes to my booth and it seems like everything is okay, they've got all their issues taken care of, everything's good, and then later they go get online somewhere and they're like, I was at JB Cases, and it's usually not like right away either, you know, where our memories are somewhat fresh. It's usually like months or years later, they're going to say, oh, they treated me like shit, and, you know, they wouldn't do this or they wouldn't do that. Listen. Our philosophy is to make happy customers and satisfied customers. Now, having said that, we're not going to bend over, you know. I'm not going to build a little room in my booth and invite you back there so I can bend over and you can shove a case up my ass to make you happy. Okay? That's not how it's going to work. So if you're reasonable, you're going to find that we're reasonable, you know? And that's like 99.99% of the time, right? No, it's 100% of the time, because it's real simple. We want to solve your problem, whatever it is. We just don't want to get screwed, you know? So if you come up to me and you got a case that's obviously destroyed, right, somehow, I'm going to push back on that, and I'm going to say, look, I don't think this happened. I don't think this just happened, right? There must have been some kind of external issue here. But most of the time you come in, you're like, hey, the handle's broken or this, that, or the other. Yeah, if it is, we'll take care of you. You know, we got that. Plus, we know now that our handles are less likely to break because we have now made them stronger and stronger and stronger. Every time there's any kind of a problem, we go in and we try to make it even better. We try to fix things that aren't even broken. Very, 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 very rarely will someone come in with a broken zipper, where the zipper slider part is broken, where this part is broken. You know? So very, very rarely will someone come in with something like this that's broken. Well, as you can see, you know, that's a pain in the ass to fix, easily fix. Okay, it can be fixed, but it's a pain in the ass because it's not easy to take a zipper out or take it apart. And so just this week, you know, we worked on a solution where those zipper sliders can be easily replaced. And then we talked about it. After we devised a solution, we talked about it and we said, you know, now what is that going to cost us to implement it, you know? Because we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 zippers on a typical case. 9 zipper sliders on a typical case. So the solution that I had created, or that we created, is something that would require us to do 2 more actions per pocket on the case, and that has a certain time and everything. So one of the things about growth and trying to keep the prices affordable is making decisions where you know, okay, if I do this, then it's going to cost this much more per case to do it, and how much is that really needed? So for the time being, we decided not to implement the solution that I came up with, but it had been on my mind for a long time, and I really wanted to see if I could make that work, and we did make it work. I'm proud to say, you know. Now here's the thing. If I started putting that in cases today, then at some point, somebody's going to come up to the booth and say, my zipper slider's broken. And I would say, hey, no problem. Let's fix that, right? We'll just pull the zipper out, we'll put it on, tuck it back in, everything's done. I'm not going to detail what we did, but, and then that person would be super happy, right? But here's the thing with that. It's literally like, I swear to you guys, it's less than 5 people per year come to us with that particular issue. It's just that for me personally, it's a pain in the ass, you know, because a lot of the times I do have these replacement sliders on there that I can screw on, and they work pretty good. But they're not the same, you know, they're not exactly the same as the old ones. So I just wanted a better solution, you know, that would be easier for me to take care of customers on the fly right there, or that I could even send it out to a customer and they could do it. But because this is such an infrequent problem, because of that, Karen and I talked about it, we ran the numbers, and we just decided, you know what? This is not a big enough problem that we need to make an improvement for something that is not really broken, okay? So our sliders are super tough, you know, in contrast to the shitty competition that's out there that claims, you know, a few of them claim that their hardware is tough, but then when you actually test it, you find out that it's weak, you know, super weak. So the fact of that is that that in contrast to their claims, our shit is actually really tough. We actually test it. We beat it with hammers. We take pliers to it to try to tear it up. We try to do everything we can to use parts that can hold up to abnormal use, so that with normal use, they should hold up pretty much forever. And that's not a big deal for us to do that. So therefore, you know, this solution that I created, as much as I love it, I'm not going to implement it because it's just really not needed, you know? Now, I would like to do it, and I would like to show it off, but it's just simply not a thing. So at this time, we're just not going to do it, you know? It's not something that's needed. It's okay, you guys can come on in. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that sort of stuff. So that's all that is what you get with a JB case. And I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to make happy customers by providing great products. And there's a lot of people out there who have our cases, who say JB cases are the best in the world, and I'm always gratified to see that. And I just want you guys to know, I don't think that we are the best in the world in every category. But I do think that if you start comparing, you know, apples to apples and point for point and feature for feature, that we come out on top in most of the important categories, and therefore we have a better value for you as a customer, and we have better protection for you from day one. So I will accept that as, if you look at it overall, as us being the best in the world. And I thank our customers for saying that, and I believe that we've actually earned that title rather than proclaiming it ourselves, because we don't actually proclaim that ourselves. I don't. I know there's always room for improvement, and you can bet that when you buy a case from us, you're getting the best case that we could possibly build at that time. Okay? Thank you very much. You guys take care. Bye-bye.